Hi, it's Dwyer, gamblersadvisory.com, dwyervip.com. Remember, the opinion you should follow should be your own. Just consider this video to be a second opinion from a complete stranger online. Well, to my utter amazement, and I mean amazement, it looks to me like this Floyd Mayweather, Conor McGregor boxing match is going to take place. Right? Understand, I know Floyd said that Dana White is a comedian for offering him a measly $25 million to fight Conor McGregor. But what I want people to think about is the fact that you have established outfits like Dana White's outfit prepared to drop $50 million on just the guaranteed purse portion of the fight for the competitors, right? Dana White was offering $25 million for Conor McGregor, $25 million for Floyd Mayweather. You know, Floyd wants to fight too, which surprises me, because Floyd himself, with an unbeaten record, has offered Conor McGregor $15 million to step in the ring. I'm assuming that if Conor McGregor said yes, Floyd would then put the rest of the fight together. So, let's talk about the economics just for a brief moment. Understand that the fight is worth far more to Conor McGregor, because he's fighting an unbeaten fighter, than it is to Floyd Mayweather. Right? It's worth a lot more to Conor McGregor. What I want Conor to think about is the fact that if he becomes the first man to professionally beat Floyd Mayweather, right, his opportunities outside of the ring are going to skyrocket. So if I'm Conor McGregor, I'm not too concerned about the guarantee. Understand, it's relatively easy for Conor McGregor to exceed expectations in a boxing match because we all think Floyd is just going to walk through him in a boxing match. Right? When the expectations are so low for an opponent, McGregor doesn't even have to win the fight to exceed expectations. Think Kell Brook against Golovkin. Right? So if I'm McGregor, I want to make sure this fight happens now. I know it sounds ridiculous. Some of you who believe in static economics are going to feel he's walking away from too much money, but if I were Conor McGregor right here, and I was offered $25 million to fight Floyd, I would privately tell Dana White, look, you can cut my side down to $5 million. You can give him the $20 million that you're not giving me. Offer him $45 million to accept the fight. Because I have to tell you, I know in the everyday world, right, making up a $20 million shortfall is hard to do. But not in the world of superstar athletes who are signing multi-million-dollar endorsement deals, right? Who are launching their own sports lines, who have companies like Nike, Adidas, Under Armour, ready to pay big-time money, just to be able to exploit the athlete's brand and likeness. Right? Many superstar NBA players, many of them, make more money off the court than they do from their teams. Right? If Conor McGregor becomes the only man to officially beat Floyd Mayweather, he won't be able to buy himself a drink. He's going to suddenly rocket past more established fighters like Manny Pacquiao in the public consciousness. Also, this is boxing. This is a sport with a rich tradition. right? We still remember Joe Louis, Max Schmeling, right? There are fights that you remember from decades ago. Ali Frazier, early 70s. We still remember that fight. Mike Tyson, Michael Spinks from the 80s, right? You can go on and on. Sonny Liston, Ali, the first fight. We even remember the second fight, the Phantom Punch fight. In boxing, if you're able to ever climb Mount Everest in a fight, if you ever get your name on a signature fight, you can literally milk that for decades. Now, Mayweather is a unique public figure because Mayweather is not loved, right? Many people will pay for the pay-per-view to a Mayweather fight hoping to see him lose. It's not that his fight style is that exciting either. He's a defense-first fighter, right? He's brilliant in the ring. But many people want to see somebody who's offensively minded, someone like Conor McGregor, beat him, right? The first man who beats Floyd Mayweather is going to be showered with literally tens of millions of dollars outside of the ring, right? So if I'm McGregor, I can't let this opportunity pass. Right? If Floyd is actually thinking about coming out of retirement, and if a promoter I trust is handling the event, then I want to give the event as much of an opportunity to happen as possible. Right? This is not a fight that should fall apart over McGregor asking for an extra $1 million or $20 million or what have you. He should go the opposite direction, right? Rich people understand what I'm talking about, right? They're the ones who will have kids take what's called unpaid internships with Fortune 500 companies or with Hollywood agencies, right? Folks starting out in the mailroom getting paid peanuts, if anything, just to have access, just to have a possibility of future success because the money's so great on the other side of the rainbow. If I'm Conor McGregor with his punch, I need to do whatever I can to get in the ring against Floyd Mayweather, right? Now let's talk about the fight itself. Because the devil is going to be in the details, isn't it? Many UFC fights are 5-rounders. 5. Right? In boxing, the championship fights are more than twice that. They're 12-rounders. 12. Right? Now, Floyd Mayweather, as anyone who watched the Zab Judah fight knows, right? As anyone who watched the Shane Mosley fight knows, Floyd Mayweather is a slow starter. Mayweather is a guy who will sometimes lose the first 2 or 3 rounds in a fight, right? Mayweather on the back 9 is much better than he is in the first 3. Now, how this fight is structured is important, right? If it's a 5-round fight, McGregor has a much better chance than he does if it's a 12-round fight, right? Much better chance. Understand, if Mayweather starts slow against a charismatic opponent with a big punch, let's say, as Mayweather's figuring out the angles, let's say McGregor hits him with a big shot, and Mayweather backs up a bit, dazed and confused, right? Looks a little bit like Ronda Rousey against Amanda Nunes. Can you imagine if McGregor wins the first round, and it's a 5-rounder, as many UFC fights are, McGregor will have already won 20% of the fight. Think about it. If Mayweather doesn't recover in round 2, right? And as I've said, there have been Mayweather fights, the Zab Judah fight, where I would argue Mayweather loses the first 3 rounds of that fight. Then Mayweather would have to sweep rounds 3, 4, and 5 simply to get a decision. Now, you know the way judges are. If McGregor wins the first round because Mayweather starts slow, and if the crowd is firmly behind the opponent, and if McGregor comes out and looks credible in the second round, that third round might come and some judge, even if Mayweather squeaks it, right? Some judge might fall in love with the crowd sentiment, the idea of the upset. If any of that happens, Floyd Mayweather in a 5-round fight would be in jeopardy of losing. Right? Let's also point out too, let's say the fight is longer. You know, here online all the time, I look at fights and I'll say, gee, I think boxer A is going to be outgunned. The other guy is more skilled. But boxer A has a puncher's chance. Right? Because he can hit hard. Now, Conor McGregor's right hand is a plus. Right? It's a plus. It's beautiful. Now, I don't believe Conor McGregor is going to outbox Floyd Mayweather. I think he's going to find out that Floyd is hard to find in the ring. My point to you, though, is the kind of person who would beat Floyd Mayweather would be the kind of person who could, from the outside, lead with power shots and pot shot Floyd. In other words, not get sucked into Mayweather's construct. If you want to see the kind of fight I'm talking about, right now, this fight did involve jabs from a future boxing Hall of Famer, but the idea is the same. It's Thomas Hearns' destruction. That's what it was. I don't know why history doesn't remember this fight more, but it's Thomas Hearns' absolute destruction of the great Roberto Duran. Understand, Floyd Mayweather has Roberto Duran in something like his top 3 of fighters all time. That's how brilliant Roberto Duran was up close. Right? Duran was a master inside. Right? When you talk about the great lightweights in history, 135, Duran has to be on the list. Dominated that division for years. And keep in mind, that's before he gains weight. It's kind of like a Bernard Hopkins career. That's before he gains weight and beats Ray Leonard. That's before he gains even more weight. Goes the distance in a 15-round fight at middleweight against Marvelous Marvin Hagler. Right? Duran, as great as he was, couldn't deal with Thomas Hearns throwing power punches from the next area code, from someplace outside the frame. Right? Now, my point to you on Conor McGregor is in looking at films, Conor McGregor has what I call ring coverage. He can throw that right hand from across the street. And when it gets there with power. The only way McGregor has a chance in this fight, if it's not a 5-round fight, if it's a 12-round fight, right? The only way McGregor has a chance in a 12-round fight is to win by KO. And the only way he's going to be able to do so is to do the opposite of what Marcus Maidana did. right? Maidana tried to smother Floyd Mayweather. Ricky Hatton tried to smother Floyd Mayweather. I'm telling you, when you try to smother Floyd Mayweather, you end up losing. If McGregor uses his legs and doesn't try to outbox Mayweather, doesn't try to box Mayweather at all, because he's not going to learn the sport in a matter of months or in a year. He's just not, folks. Right there, tens of thousands of young guys out there right now trying to master the art of boxing. And a small group of elites year in and year out are on top of the sport because it's that hard to master. Right? So every year it's the same guys on top, right? Golovkin, Andre Ward, James DeGale, Terrence Crawford, right? New faces don't pop up as often as you think. So Conor McGregor needs to realize he's not going to outbox Floyd Mayweather. So rather than bum rush him, rather than be around the pocket, right, having your best punches blocked, the way to deal with Mayweather is to be outside of the pocket. Lead with power shots to literally just pot shot the guy. Right? Zab Judah, that fight's one of Mayweather's most interesting ones. Right? Zab Judah was too close to the pocket because Judah didn't have the legs to be outside of the pocket, and that was a younger Mayweather. I'm just telling you, Mayweather's legs are not what they used to be. They're not. Conor McGregor has the advantage in terms of ability to move around the ring. So what McGregor is going to have to do is literally hide his hands. Right? You don't want to come in and try to overwhelm Mayweather. You want to hide your punch angles. Hide his hands, be outside, circling Floyd, then leaping in. Just leaping in, kind of like a hawk. Leaping in with power shots. I believe that's McGregor's only chance. But people need to understand here that Floyd would be risking it all. Because if McGregor, who has stopped many men, puts Floyd on the canvas, right, that's going to be one of those moments where the crowd audibly gasp. Right? That's going to be part of Floyd's career. Just like the Marciano fight is part of the Joe Louis legacy. Right? Even if Floyd gets off the canvas and wins the fight. Right? If McGregor does anything that exceeds the performance of Manny Pacquiao, of Shane Mosley, of Robert the Ghost Guerrero, of Ricky Hatton, of guys who Floyd beat, and did so in a way that looked dazzling on CompuBox. Right? If McGregor lands any big shots on Floyd, if he cuts Floyd up, if he drops Floyd in a round, if he staggers Floyd in a round, the expectations for McGregor are so low that that moment will make front page news. He'll exceed expectations. So, in my opinion, the way to play this, because we want to beat the casino, I think most of your money has to be on Mayweather simply to win. But, McGregor has a puncher's chance. McGregor's going to be a prohibitive underdog as it is straight up. You need to sprinkle something on McGregor by KO. You're going to get outstanding leverage. I personally will be surprised, and I haven't seen the line. I'll be surprised if you're not getting at least 8-1, 9-1, 10-1 leverage on McGregor by by KO. I expect Floyd to win. The devil's in the details. If it's a 5-round fight, McGregor's odds have just skyrocketed. The longer the fight goes, the lesser the chance of McGregor winning, because McGregor's not going to be able to box Floyd Mayweather, certainly not outbox him over a 12-round fight. Anyway, those are my initial thoughts. Let me say this too. In terms of marketing, Dana White has few peers. He shows up on the Colin Cowherd show. He drops a $50 million offer. I'm sure he was aware that Floyd Mayweather was not going to accept it. But yet we're here talking about it. But yet it's all over the net. Conor McGregor doesn't even have to issue a comment. People are buzzing. Right? This is what great promoters do. They get free press. They don't even have to pay for the advertising campaign. The Cowherd show even had a construct where Dana White was supposed to be rushing in, right? Rushing in to deliver this news, right? Right on time on a Friday, so that it keeps us buzzing over the weekend. I don't know who's going to promote this fight. Maybe Mayweather himself decides to put it together. But just understand, if I'm Conor McGregor, right, I'd be prepared to walk away from most of my purse, because this would be a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, right? Floyd Mayweather, unbeaten. If you have a chance to become the first man to beat Floyd Mayweather, and if you're able to enter the ring in an event where no one expects anything of you, in other words, it's relatively easy for you to exceed expectations. It's not your sport. The other guy is an all-time great. The other guy has everything to lose. If you land one lucky punch, the rest of your life changes. Right? We still remember Buster Douglas today, don't we? Right? One lucky punch. And for everything Conor McGregor has done in his entire life, the first paragraph of his biography would include a sentence talking about how he beat Floyd Mayweather. For that opportunity, hell, you don't have to pay a guy $25 million. You just tell him, look, player, will get Floyd in the ring for you. Here's a $5 million check. The response to that should be, thank you very much. When and where is the fight? Anyway, that's how I see it. Let me hear from you. I hope you leave your comments in the comment section to this video. Thanks for stopping by.